Right, now in the last paper I marked for you, you scored 38. That was the calculator paper, so let's see how you get on this time round. Okay, here we go. 360. Good start. Meters squared. Milliliters, no. Milliliters is for measuring small quantities of liquid. If you think a medicine spoon, a teaspoon, has 5 milliliters, what you're looking for there is liters, but the other two are right, so that's good. B, F, C, G are correct, 4 marks, so 12 for the page. That's good, 2 marks. Now then, here your substitution is correct, but what you have done is you've done the, no it isn't, because that should be a plus. So you copied that down wrongly. Your number's in the right place, so it should have been 4 times 21, work that out, and then add 15 to it. And you've ended up multiplying the 3 figures together. So you're not going to get any marks for that, I'm afraid. 230 minus 21 divided by 10. No, you've got those in the wrong order as well. What we've got here is that the cost is equal to number of days, which we know, times 21, which we're told, plus H, hiring fee, which is what we're trying to find. So if we worked out what that was, we would get that. So basically what we're saying is, what must we add to 210 to make 230? That's what the hiring fee will be. So it's 20. So H is 20. So no marks for that question, I'm afraid. That is good and correct. This one isn't. That's not the middle. Okay, you should have 9 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You put them in order, which is correct. But the middle one is this. Where that is at the moment, you've got 3 ages to the left of it, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ages to the right of it. It's not the middle term. This is the middle term. But you did order, and you are trying to find the middle term, so you will get a method mark for that. So total for the page is 3, 4, 6. That's correct. This isn't. There's no workings out there. There's nothing marked on your table, so I can't give you any credit, even though it's worth 3 marks. There's nothing there for me to see what you're doing. And that's right, well done. So you're estimating the actual height of the car to be 2, which is a bit high, because that's, you know, taller than a human. Most cars aren't, unless it's a big 4x4. That doesn't look like a 4x4, but that's probably on the limit of what's acceptable. Then you have got 0.7 and 7.7, which goes in 11 times, and then you've done that. So your method is perfect. So you do get the full marks for that question. Total to page 8. For this one, 3675 is correct. Good stuff. 29 and 5 is correct. Half each time is fine, because they're all words. That's not a word, can't give you the mark. Total for the page, 8. No, none of those are right. Now what you need to do is, they're telling you that 3 rectangles are 12 wide and 4 high, and they're on an axis. So that point there is 0, 0. And then with coordinates, your first number is always your across, your x coordinate, and then your up movement, your up number is your y coordinate. So it's always across, then up. So if that rectangle is 12 wide, that means that that point there is going to be the coordinate 12. And if each rectangle is 4 high, that means that the y coordinate of A is 4. So that would be 12, 4. Now for B, there's no x movement, so it's 0. And then it's 4 and 4 is 8 for B. And then you do the same thing again now. If it's 12 to there, and then we've got a width, it means that that is 16. and if it's 4 to there and then we've got a length which is 12, that would be 16 too. So the last one would be 16, 16. 4 negative 6 is correct. You should be able to answer that now. We've been doing those this week, so that should be okay for you. And with this one, no, what you have to do, remember, is that 2 and b are joined by a times, so it would be 2 times 5 is 10, so it would be take 10, and then 3 times negative 1 is negative 3, so you end up with that, which is negative 13. So I can't give any marks for that. Out of 50 is correct. It's not 18 because you haven't answered the question correctly. The question is asking for at least 3. 18 patients had exactly 3. These 3 patients also had at least 3 because they had more than 3. They had 4 and 5. So it should be 21 out of 50. And then to answer the second part of the question, if you just look at one column and work out what it's telling you, that's telling you that 14 patients each had 2 visitors. So in that column there are actually 28 visitors, 2 lots of 14 or 14 lots of 2. So you have to do the same for the other columns and then add them up. Total for the page 3. 2592 is correct, as is 65. Well done. I need to see how these angles are calculated, or as a bare minimum written down how big those angles are. Even if your graph was perfect, you need to show how you get those angles. You won't get any marks just for drawing the angles, even though they look pretty close. That is perfect. Now, a risk you've taken there is that you didn't write down, or you have and you've scribbled it out, how long it was in centimetres, because there's 3 marks for that first part. So if you'd have just written 3.5 there, for example, I wouldn't have been able to give you any marks because you hadn't shown me how you then turn that centimetres into a kilometre. But because you're spot on, you get the 3 marks. This angle is good, but you need to turn it for 4 kilometres into 8 centimetres, and 8 centimetres is actually further down, it's about there. So you get the mark for the bearing, but you don't get the mark for marking C at 4 kilometres. Now this topic is called utility bills. Have a look at how I've worked that one out on the video clip. But then go into Jones' Sum, into topics, and practice some of these, because as you can see, this one carries 6 marks. They come up pretty much every year, and they, big mark carriers. But you do need to be concentrating to work them out, so the classroom is probably not the best place to do them. That's correct. For part C, which you haven't done, all you need to do is add the 2 probabilities together for green and blue. So you do 0.24 plus the 0.37, work out what that comes to, and that's your answer. That's good, and that's good as well. Well done. 8 for the page. And then on the last page, you haven't used your knowledge of prime factors, okay? Now if you don't know anything about prime factors, again, take a look at the topics on prime factors on the Jones' Sum site, because they're quite easy to do and easy to remember how to do them, but you don't get any marks for that. And similarly, that's not right either, because what you have to do is 5 times 1.4 cubed plus 2 times 1.4 plus 1.4 first of all, work out the answer, and then put 1.5 in, and then try to explain to me why the answer must be somewhere between them. Take a look at how I do that on the clip. It's fairly straightforward. This is good. This is good. Not many people have even attempted this question. So AB is 4.5, so you get 2 marks for that. The cross-sectional area is 6.3, so you get your 2 marks for that. And the volume is that. Well done. Really impressed. 6 marks for the page. Okay, Owen, let's see how you've done. What did I say you had? 38 last time. So this time 12, 18, 26, 34, 37, 41, 45, 53, 59. So big improvement. It's only a grade D. You're 11 marks still from a grade C, but there are still questions in there. Utility bills I mentioned, prime factors, that you can easily learn how to do and pick up those extra marks. So that's good going. Well done.